Hello, my name is Jana Manuelpillai. I'm the director of the Noble Sage Art Gallery in North London. We specialise in Indian, Sri Lankan and Pakistani contemporary art with special emphasis on the Tamil Nadu scene, particularly the Chennai school, as well as work from Sri Lanka. I think we're the only space in the whole of London that specialise in Sri Lankan contemporary art as one of our fortes. We opened in 2006 and have since then had about 15 exhibitions, one in Manhattan, New York, and the other, about 4 in central London as well. So myself, I'm Sri Lankan Tamil. My parents come from Jaffna and Colombo in Sri Lanka. My mother originates, her family originates from Tamil Nadu down in South India. So Tamil Nadu seemed like an appropriate place to start when thinking about the gallery specialising in Indian contemporary art. It's really nice to work with that. I guess a lot of people could have started a gallery dealing in art generally and just found artists in England and in London to support and promote, or even Asian artists in London to support and promote. It feels particularly special to be able to go back to Sri Lanka and back to Tamil Nadu, following my roots in a certain way, and source work from skilled, talented artists that otherwise wouldn't have a platform, a European platform for their work. And I think that that's kind of a mutual feeling. You know, when I go there and speak with the artists there that I work with, I think I have about now 40 artists, they really appreciate the fact that that I'm giving a space specifically for them, and that I'm not just opening up to everyone, and that I keep that specialism strong. So it is a nice feeling to be working with my heritage in some way. This exhibition is, I think, our 16th exhibition at the gallery. It's called Chennai Revisited. It features 6 artists from Tamil Nadu. 3 or 4 of them I've been working with now for 4 years or so, and I've built a very good relationship with them. There are also another couple that are brand new to the gallery, brand new to the collection, who I thought had a great appeal, and I wanted to show them in this exhibition. When we opened the gallery in 2006, we opened with a show called Chennai Revisited, which had 17 artists from Tamil Nadu. Since then I've been showing different artists from that group. Some of them I'm not showing as much, but some of them I'm showing a great deal. This exhibition kind of revisits that first exhibition and shows where we're going and how far we've come. This seemed an appropriate image to talk about because of the lotus in the centre here and its relation to Tamare, the website that this is showing on. This is an image by an artist called N. Raghavan from Chennai in Tamil Nadu. He works at the notorious Cholamandal Artist Village, which is a very important village for the Madras school and the Madras kind of movement in the late 1900s. So this is as I said, an image of a lotus, as you can see in the centre. You can see a band across around the side. There's not much colour, but what hopefully you can see on camera is that it has a kind of weathered effect on the canvas. It feels textured and weathered. Now, how this work is called Rain, and the artist was telling me how he was sitting in his studio, and he was thinking to himself, how do I capture the sense of rain hitting the outside world, the way that it encompasses everything like an umbrella, and nothing is kept away from it. Whatever, even if you're in a house, this rain is hitting the ceiling. Nothing is worthy of exception, if you like, from rain. And he wanted to capture that kind of universality of it and the kind of thunderous monsoon weathers that was happening around his home at that moment in Chennai. He went out onto the balcony, looking over all the heavy rains, and just thinking, how is he going to show this in his canvas? And suddenly he saw a bamboo stick sticking from one of the branches, and he ripped it off, this bamboo stick, and brought it into the house and started beating the canvas with it. And that's how he has created this effect, this downward kind of weathered effect of metal that's been rusted, or some people have said material, textured material. It has that feeling of something extremely weathered. In terms of the actual image in the center, the lotus has connotations of revival and rejuvenation in Indian culture, in Hindu culture particularly. Also of kind of something emerging from the mud, because the lotus can emerge from the mud and come to the surface. It can find the light. It can find freedom and it can find the way forward and lives again, if you like. And he's kind of capturing that in this image. So in terms of how I got into this field, I really could date back wanting to run my own gallery to when I was doing my A-levels. I did A-level art, and I wanted to either be an artist or run my own gallery. So I'm really lucky and fortunate to now be doing that in an industry that I love and with art that I enjoy. I started in A-level art, as I said, and then I did my degree shortly after in English literature and history of art at Birmingham University. I later did a master's at Leicester University in Museum and Gallery Studies. All the way along, I've really been getting gallery experience in all types of different collections, from kind of old master kind of collections like the Barber Institute of Fine Arts, through to very contemporary galleries like the South London Gallery and the Massachusetts Museum of Contemporary Art in the US. My previous job before this, I was head of education at the Mall Galleries, where I curated exhibitions as well as gave workshops with kids and with adults around art. I left that to start this in 2005. After about a year, we renovated this space, and the Noble Sage was born, and we've been going ever since 2006. So this is one of my senior artists in the gallery called G. Raman from Chennai, a Tamil artist who, when I visited him 4 years ago, I was really struck by his honesty and the kind of integrity embodied in his work. This work is unusual because normally he does images of Hindu deities or Hindu stories or mythologies, which are very interesting in the same style, but they're normally of Hindu content. Here I commissioned him on a series of works around Christ, which I thought would be very interesting for the gallery. He has done some before, but never for this gallery. So this is an image of Jesus at the marriage of Cana, and you can see the pots here in the foreground here next to Jesus, pots full of water naturally, which Christ turns into wine. What's interesting is that if you look at it, the white lines here look like ornamentation, decoration just to kind of almost fill the entire work. But in actual fact, this ornamentation has actual meaning. You can see these faces which look like tribal masks, which relate to Indian folklore tales or Indian folk painting and art. But these tribal masks, if you look at them, have different facial features. Subtly facial features are different. The mouths are different. They all show different stylized portraits, if you like, of astonishment as Christ does this miracle before them. Because of this line here that divides the work, you can see that this is outside and everything here is inside. So these are people stylized as standing outside, peering in through a doorway to see Christ perform this miracle in the foreground. And that's a very interesting factor about it, because lots of people just see it as very decorative work, but has greater conceptual meaning.